Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran. Today, guys, I'm going to be doing a Your Guide video, Your Guide series episode, whatever the hell it is. I have no idea for. Who knows? And today is going to be about meditation. Okay, so meditation is a very misunderstood thing. Very hard to grasp sometimes for people because it's taught in the wrong way. And in fact, it's taught very rigidly, right? And there seems to be this grand set of rules in order to meditate, right? For instance, having to sit in some kind of weird position in order to meditate, right? And that's something that kind of puts people off. It certainly puts me off. Okay, I don't meditate like that. And in general, people go into meditation with the wrong kind of idea, okay? And then so they don't really get anything out of it. Whereas the purpose of meditation, of course, is to bring you guys, bring the individual some sort of inner peace, okay? And it's something that I don't think society has quite grasped yet it will eventually, I think, become something very normal. Because if you look back 50, 60 years ago, people would have saw somebody running around the block and thought someone was chasing them. But now going for a run is completely normal. But when you think about it, it's kind of silly looking, isn't it? Because again, why would anybody be running, right? So these things tend to normalize themselves. So we're not really in this age of meditation where it's this really good way of relaxing ourselves, finding mental clarity, finding focus. It hasn't really been widely accepted. So there isn't like this pull or this ease of access to really get into it, right? It's not like running or going to the gym. It's very easy to do so, okay? It's very sort of normalized, okay, to go for a run around the block. Nobody's going to think you're weird, okay? And it's not that anybody might think you're weird for meditating, but there's a little bit of a stigma around it, a little bit of misunderstandings, okay? So let's get into this video properly and try to just explain to you the basics of meditation, okay? So the best way to meditate for beginners, and maybe even just for as long as you personally like it, is to do guided meditations. There are tons of them on YouTube. In fact, if you go to my profile on YouTube and you find, I have playlists. I have some playlists that are open, public. Not my liked videos, because then you would just find a lot of amateur porn. But if you look into the ones that are public, you'll find a list of meditations, and those are the ones that I personally used, ones that have personally helped me, and that I still continue to use on a daily basis. Though I haven't been too great lately, but they have been serving me quite well. Okay. And you'll find some videos there, some guided meditations. And guided meditations are perfect because what they do is they allow the mind to focus on something, on sound, on someone's voice, someone's soothing voice, guiding them through something, guiding them through some kind of event or scenario or creative, whatever it is the guided meditation's about. Sometimes you're in like this nice relaxing beach. Other times it takes you into a journey into like some fantastical mythical place where you meet a spirit guide and you find some answer that you need, right? And that's kind of the purpose of meditation. Those guided meditations, that they sort of allow you to do those things. If you're not into guided meditations, then it will help a lot of you to really to have some kind of sound playing, okay? Because meditation on its own, just sitting in bed in complete silence, it doesn't actually help that many people. Unless you're some sort of Buddhist monk or you feel really truly called to go do that. In my experience, that has worked the least for me. Okay, the things that have worked the most for me is guided meditation with headphones. Okay, so having the sound sort of reverberate inside of your skull. This is the best way to really get into the meditation. Now, those are just some really good ways to start meditating, okay? Like again, having some kind of sound, being comfortable is another big one, okay? You don't have to sit very rigidly in a chair. You don't have to, get all cross-legged and stuff like that. I prefer laying down. Maybe if that might make you fall asleep. Okay, I don't know. It really depends on the individual. But that's the beautiful process of meditation, is that it depends on the individual. It's not supposed to be a rigid set of rules, but it does help to find a comfortable position, not a position you think you have to be in. Otherwise, why would you continue doing it? Meditation would just be a pain in the ass, okay? And it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, so taking the ground rules, the basics of meditation, finding a comfortable position, doesn't matter what it is. Guided meditation will certainly help you, but having some kind of sound will certainly help, okay? Having somebody to guide you away from the lost thoughts that sort of just ramble around inside of your mind when you try to sit down and calm yourself. And then having some sort of, I guess, dim lighting or being in a calm place, calm setting, where you make sure you're not interrupted, those sort of things. Those are the basics for meditation, and that's really all you need to know to get started, right? Now, in order to have an effective meditation coupled with those things, this is where people get very lost and they stop almost immediately. In order for it to be successful, there's two things you have to do with meditation. One is you have to do it more than once, because it's not going to give you everything you want on the first try. I don't know when that's ever happened with anything in life. You go on a diet for a day, you don't lose 10 pounds. That's not how that works. So meditation is a discipline. Everything in life is a discipline. If you do it enough times, it will work. You will see the results. It's something that you have to do more than once. If you're not willing to accept that, don't even bother trying meditating. You're just going to waste your time. So there's no point. Okay. The second thing is that you're not supposed to go into meditation with this idea that you're receiving something out of it. If you go in there with an expectation, you're almost always going to be disappointed. Sometimes you get lucky on the first try, and then you go back the second, third, and you're like, I'm not getting anything this time. What the hell happened? It's because it's very rare for that to happen. Sometimes you get what you need. Like maybe it's sort of a synchronistic event. You try meditation for the first time, you're like, oh my god, I got the answer. I feel so much better. And then you go the next couple times, you don't really feel that. Okay, and there's a reason for that. It's because you got what you needed in that first time, but generally speaking, it requires a sort of discipline. And so again, going in with an expectation to get answers, it very rarely comes out with answers. It's a paradox. It's like meditation. The point of meditation is to relax first and foremost, because when you're relaxed, you receive answers, you receive clarity, you receive peace. Answers, clarity, relaxation are a side effect of meditation and not the purpose, right? This is what happens when you meditate. The purpose of meditation, truthfully, is just to remove all the shit that's going on inside your brain, really, because it's to stop the constant chatter of thoughts that block you from experiencing your pure awareness, from just existing and being happy to exist. When was the last time you sat in a place and just observed and didn't think and just allowed just allowed life to exist around you, allowing time to sort of bend to your will? Very rarely do people do that, okay? And you can do that at any time. There's something called sitting grounded meditation, where you can just be very aware of your thoughts and breathe and experience life as it's happening to you. Sitting on the subway without any distractions and just existing, sitting in the park and just existing, going for a walk and just existing. Those are sort of grounded ways of meditating, but primarily this sort of sitting down with the candles, the music, the guided meditation. The purpose isn't to find those kinds of answers. That's what you hope to get out of it, but expecting it to happen often doesn't work, because we go into meditation with this idea, and what happens is that it breaks away very quickly, right? I mean, trying to relax is hard, because when you try to relax, you often get the opposite result. You end up becoming stressed and tight. And it's the same thing with meditation. If you go in with meditation trying to get some kind of answer, you're just trying to force something, and you're not actually going to be able to relax, and you're not going to be able to get the answers that you need. So meditation, you have to treat it as just doing it for the experience. That's the only way meditation will work. If you do it to try and get X, Y, and Z, very rarely will that work. You have to let go. You have to just do it for the experience. You have to treat it as something that you enjoy, as something that you like. Otherwise, there's no point in meditating. If you don't like meditating, if you can't meditate, this is not the thing for you. You should not do it. You can't force yourself to meditate. You have to find a legitimate, good reason to meditate that you want to do. Okay? And so there are really good benefits of it. You do end up getting answers if you do it enough. You do end up feeling very relaxed. You do have a better sense of awareness throughout the day, and you definitely feel more connected to your intuition. That's something that it's good. Your intention around meditation is just as important as the actual meditation itself. Okay, so if you go in with meditation with the intention of, I would like this experience to teach me more patience, just do that, and the meditation will do that. And then the things that happen because of that will completely surprise you. Whether or not they're answers to questions you never knew you had, or images, or voices, or sort of downloads, so to speak, or these just beautiful things that come into your mind. Those will be beautiful moments, beautiful symptoms, relaxation, feeling more clear. For me, one of the benefits of meditation is that it reconnects me with my intuition. Okay, and I'll give you a small example. Yesterday I tried doing this psychic test. Okay, it's a good way of training your intuition. And what happens basically is that you take a card. Let's just say that this card has a number on it, 1 through 5, and there's 25 of them, and you guess what the number is. Okay, so and so you just pick randomly 1 through 5, and anyway, there's 25. The most ever on this particular sort of game app thing, I think the most somebody ever got was 19 out of 25. And I remember doing it a lot, maybe like 6 months ago, or maybe even a little bit longer. I used to do it a lot more, and I had the most I ever got was 15 out of 25. All right, and the idea is that anything more than 5 is generally some kind of skill. And so I did it yesterday, and maybe it was because I was tired, maybe because of 1 a.m. But in either case, I did it and I only got 4. And I was so blown away by the disappointment of that I thought, wow, I should really get back into meditation and train my intuition again, because I don't like that, right? So it becomes, for me, the justification, or the motivation, I should say, is trying to learn a skill, trying to increase my intuition, trying to increase my skill set, okay? So now I have something that I resonate with personally. Now I have a really good motivation, a good intention. It's to get stronger intuitively, because I pride myself on my skills. So find a reason that's legitimate for you, and use that to go into meditation. Use it to carry you. Use that to make you meditate. Use that motivation to make you meditate in the first place. When you get in there, try to let go, try to relax. Don't try to do too much, because if you try to do something, it's hard. So it's not about trying. Okay, that's a big misconception again with meditation, is that people go in with this huge expectations. No, it's just the experience. Just do it. Just do it for the experience, and you will get something out of it. Just meditate to meditate, and everything else will be a side effect of that. Okay, so that is just a little helpful video on meditation, because people treat it as some very scary obligation. It's not an obligation. It's not that scary. Find a good reason to do it. Find a good way for you to do it, and allow yourself to experience it fully, 15, 20 minutes, however long it is for you, and then just do it in a repeated way, and you will find something positive for you. Okay, it probably will take you 5 or 6 times to truly get into the swing of things, and to get something, and it'll probably take you 9 to 10 times to really change something about yourself. Okay, and usually try to do it 2 to 3 times a week, and then adjust as you see fit. And don't meditate too much, because I've done that myself. It doesn't work, or it does work, I should say, but it works too well. Okay, you don't want to overdo meditation either. Otherwise, your head's in the clouds. And I remember for a week straight, I couldn't sleep. Every time I got a little bit tired, I would go into like a different dimension or something, to be honest. And I was always constantly like in the dream world. Like I was lucid dreaming, but not on purpose. So it was very scary. And that was a direct result of meditating too much. I was meditating 2 or 3 times a day. So there's issues with over meditating as well. So just like everything, you don't want to do too much of it. Keep yourself in a regulated, sort of disciplined way. 2 to 3 times a week, maybe even 4. And again, just follow all the steps that I said, and you shall find eventually what it is that you are really hoping to gain out of this kind of hobby, this kind of practice. Okay. All right, guys, that's the video for today. I hope it helps. I appreciate all of your guys' support, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, probably. All right, guys, see ya.